So yeah, there's lots of fun. You can do really custom ones. I started earlier today.
Clever.
So this is the same as I did before. You're starting with a big piece of insulation foam. It'll cost you about $30-some. Draw your shape with a magic marker, and I'm using our foam cutting tool. You saw this is in part one of the kits from last week, one of my new tools. So you cut out the overall shape. Then you're going to actually print out what you want. And I'm going classic with Yorick here. A little spray adhesive, lay that down, and then use a Dremel. And I'm using a Dremel with a router tip on it. There's also something I recently discovered. And you're basically just tracing around the letters and carving it out. It took me about 3 minutes to do the entire thing. Once you're done with that, rip out the paper. Super, super easy. If you have a hard time getting out, spray it with a little bit of water and you can rub it off with your hands. Now to add the aging, I'm again using another foam cutting tool. This is the hot wire, and all I'm doing is cutting little cracks into the side. You do it at the top, you do it on the side, you do some deep, you do some shallow. Pretty easy. And you want to sort of do them here and there. You can't really do it too much to make it look pretty fabulous. And that basically gets us to where we are
recessed like
now.
That's nice.
So I went ahead and I also added a skull using the same thing, and then alas here for the quote from Shakespeare.
So what's next?
So I just wanted to, before we do that, if you don't have those tools, use at home, you can also do the exact same thing with the serrated knife. Do your cuts like that. You can also use a bread knife.
Seems messier though.
You can also use a little chopstick to get the extra little. So don't feel like you need to rush out and buy all those tools. It just makes it easier, but you can also do it very much on your own. So once you do that, you want to then use a heat gun, and that's going to use, when I originally did this, I used a blowtorch with you. Blowtorch and a hose, you remember?
Yeah, we had to be very careful.
We had to be very, and they wouldn't let Mark do it. It's like, no, we can't let Mark do it. Little do they know.
Insurance.
And all you're going to do is take your heat gun, and if you can see that, you're just going to run it along, and what that does is that actually melts the foam.
Now, a hair dryer won't do it.
Well, you could actually use a high-powered hair dryer. It'll just be patient because it'll take a while. Or if you don't have that, the other thing you can do
I love how that's doing
is actually just get your hand and really crunch down on it. It's not
careful we don't break the table.
It's not going to be as drastic. The heat gun really gives you the right effect, but you have other options. So once you've done that, we're going to move on to the paint finish.
Ooh.
So first thing you're going to do, here's a plain one I did.
Also,
you don't have to get funky with the letters. You can also do it totally plain. Paint the whole thing black, and then to make it a little bit more cartoony, what I did was just do a light brushing of a brighter color. I used green on some and blue on the others.
Okay.
And Debbie, step back with your black leather dress.
Now, this isn't like a glow-in-the-dark color or anything,
This is not. It's just a bright green, regular craft paint.
But you could use a glow-in-the-dark.
You could, actually. Ooh, next year.
Right?
Wow.
I love that.
And then once you've got your green on, what you're going to do to really finish it off is take, this is a green mixed with a black. You want a dark color. Step back, Debbie.
Well.
And you just want to brush a lot of that on there. This is almost like a dark military green. And then you're going to get your standard paper towels.
Okay.
And you're simply going to blot it off.
And then let it, dry from that point?
Let it dry from that point.
Will that soak in certain areas?
It's not going to soak in. It'll actually just give you that age. And then you can even, before it's totally dry, you can lift it up.
And let it run.
You're going to get some drips. You're going to get some runs.
Nice.
And there you go. And the fun part about this is that they're not as scary. The ones I did before were very, very spooky. You can have fun, like with Debbie's.
These are kind of beautiful.
They're beautiful and they're cheap.
And normally
$8 a piece.